So I came up with an Ironman idea called the Untradeable Locked Ironman, and I looked on YouTube to see if anybody else tried it, just to get an idea of the account. And I came across this video, and I highly disagree with it. I'm gonna let you watch it real quick.
Sometimes I'll have an interesting idea for a restricted Ironman account, but after thinking about it for a few minutes, I'll realize that the end game would be full of unfeasibly slow grinding or some crazy RNG fest. This account is one such idea. Meet 0 tradables, the Ironman account with only one rule. It cannot equip any tradable items.
Now, I think the idea that he came up with is great, but the route taken during the account was not that good. And as such, I'm going to create my own Untradeable Locked Ironman idea since he has not played his account for over 5 months. Or at least there hasn't been a video in 5 months. Now doing so, I'm going to create my own rule set to better fit the series as a whole, because I think he should have made some exceptions and go over the rules clearly in that first episode. Exception 1 is quest. If I want to do any quest, I'm allowed to equip the tradable items that it requires me to do so. This doesn't limit the account to only specific untradables, as I think every untradable in this account should be used. Second is for clue scrolls. If a clue scroll asks me to equip an item to complete the clue scroll, I'm going to allow myself to equip said item. This speeds up the account more and thus lowers the grind. As well as clue scrolls provide a great way in order to obtain ornament kits, which are technically a form of an untradable item. Lastly is degradable items. Items that become untradable once they are degraded. I'm going to allow myself to use these items as during the majority of their lifespan they are untradable, and as such I don't think it should be limit the account, even if they aren't tradable in the very beginning or the very end of their lifespan. Now with that being said, this will now be the beginning of Life of Chad, the Untradeable Locked Ironman. Alright, so I ended up creating the most sexiest looking character for the Life of Chad. Look at Sir Chaddington, he got his jorts on, you know, he's got the 2 frockets so he can store items in his frockets. Look at those big old biceps right there. He's big old strong so he can lift all those babes. He just got some black shoes. Actually, we should probably change them to the white Nikes because he's a Chad. Sadly, there is no white Nikes. Black shoes it is. But then you got his ponytail, which is actually a man tail because he doesn't ride ponies. And apart from that, he's all chatting it up. Coming off Tutorial Island, we immediately rush towards the Ironman tutor to obtain the hardcore Ironman gear. The Ironman gear. A set of armor obtained immediately after completing Tutorial Island by speaking to Adam, Juan, or Paul, sharing equivalent stats with their iron counterpart. This gear provides us with the 3rd best in slot plate legs of the whole entire series, only being surpassed by Void and Barrows. It is also the quickest untradable gear to obtain, therefore making it one of the best untradable equipment to obtain in the very beginning of the series. Next, immediately rushing towards the combat tutors, we obtain our training sword and shield and our training bow and arrow. Training equipment, attainable immediately by talking to their respective combat tuner. Their stats mimic their wooden and bronze counterparts, these being the bronze sword, the wooden shield, and the bronze bow and arrows. The training bow and arrow is our 4th best in slot range equipment, only being surpassed by the crystal bow, the blue rat crossbow, and blue rat bolts, and lastly the bow of Ferndaheim. Overall, this equipment is super easy to obtain, and thus being our 4th best in slot range, it is being necessary to obtain this in the beginning. Next we did some grinding on the fishing. We just got level 2 fishing. We're going to grind this out just to get some food for the account so then we can thieve some men so we can get some starting GP for the account. Alright, so we ended up catching 11 shrimp, and you're going to go ahead and watch me cook all 11 of these shrimp just so we can increase my watch time, because some of you people just click off instantly. So if we increase the watch time, YouTube will recommend this to more people. So we ended up getting 3 cooking right there. We only got 2 more or 1 more level I believe up to go, because we got 5 shrimp, depending on of course how many burnt shrimp we make. Come on, just like 3 more shrimp, and then you all can be free to watch more of my content. And there we go, 4 cooking. Next we decided to train our thieving on this guy, and we stole his whole life savings. So after just robbing his life savings, we went on ahead and we just robbed all that guy of his tea as well. And we also grabbed a rope from Ned, our favorite guy. He has a problem with ropes. Alright, so we're going to go on ahead and do the Waterfall Quest. I actually went over to the quest location. I forgot the rope in the beginning, so I had to travel back and that's why we're out of teleports. So we're going to go ahead and walk across the White Wolf Mountain. For those that don't know, you can just teleport to Castle Wars and walk up there, and it's quicker than crossing the White Wolf Mountain, and you don't have to risk dying due to the wolves. But that's some free 99 advice for you. Alright, since we're already in Catherby, we thought we might as well pick up a few candles. So we went ahead and purchased 5 so we don't get scammed by the lumberjack guy whenever we go into that Slayer cave in the future. Alright, so at the start of the Waterfall Quest, this person says her son just jumped into the waterfall looking for treasure, and our first course of action is, yeah, let's go do it too. Hey look, we found him. First we ask him if he's okay, and then we're using our Giga Chad brain, we figure out where the treasure is because of him, and then we go try to take it ourselves. A little detour from the quest, we decided to do some agility training, and we ended up getting 10 agility, because this is our only place to train agility in the very beginning, and we were already here, and I wasn't going to go ahead and walk back here again. So we got our 10 agility going back to Waterfall Quest. Alright, so I got some free 99 advice for any of the Ironmen. As soon as you do the Waterfall Quest, just go ahead and start the Trident Village quest immediately after, and he'll guide you out of the maze, so then you can just walk up to the next part of the quest. Simple as that. Alright, so I thought we'd play a little game for you guys. So we're about ready at one of the hardest parts of the whole quest, being a level 3 and all, with 10 HP, and the game we're going to be playing is, will I survive this part? So, for anybody that doesn't know, the moss giants, they can one-shot you. So if you get hit once by any of these, you'll probably die. The main way to get around, if you don't have an alt account, which I'm not going to be using one because I don't feel like it, is by kiting with these skeletons and zombies. What that means is you attack them, and then they'll pull the aggression off from the monsters, which means the moss giants can't attack you. Now, the downside with this is, although we can eat through them, it's not really easy with cups of tea, because I should have got cakes. But we're going to be doing that, and then we have to walk past the moss giant as quick as possible, hoping that he does not grab aggression. So we ended up getting that. Luckily we got past the first one real quick, and we search the tomb, and then we get Glorias tomb. I know it's a great. Alright, now we got to do it on the way back. Now this is the scary part. It's on the way back, like I said, he can, and we're running low on teas. I'm not saying I've done this many times before. Normally I'll bring my Ironman out here and just do it, but I thought I'd want to attempt to do it for real for once. So we're going to do it. Now here's going to be the hardest part, because he's right in the middle, and we don't have any zombies right next to us or skeletons. So we're going to be waiting it out just a little bit. Hopefully we're going to get past it. I don't know. Alright, so we see one right there. And we're going to try to... No, looks like it ran away. We're just waiting off a little bit, hoping that this moss giant will walk back a little bit. Now, I'm thinking about hopping worlds at this point, but I'm not really sure. No, alright, so a zombie ended up coming, so we're kiting it a little bit, and we think we have a room, and we're going to be... And then we get one shot. So for any of you guys that decided that we would die, you're correct, because I am so good. Alright, now we died, but that doesn't really affect the account too much, because I wasn't planning on keeping the hardcore status, because it would have been pretty hard with just untradable items to not expect me to die. It would have been nicer to last a little bit longer. Alright, now let's play the second game, Will I Die Again? So we're just going to go on ahead and start this. Now, it's relatively not too hard, especially now that I have a full inventory of cups. I'm not going to be threatened as much. So we're just going to attack it, and this is what you're supposed to do when you go through it, just for anybody that hasn't done this before. Now, that was kind of risky because the skeleton ran away, or the zombie did, so the moss giant could have easily grabbed aggro. But luckily we had just enough time, so we're going to go ahead and run past him. So we got past the first one. Going to the next one, and we're about to obtain one of our first untradable items that we can equip without any restrictions, apart from our based ones, which is the Glorias Amulet. Glorias Amulet, an amulet that serves no purpose for combat advantage in this account, but does provide one advantage, which allows us access to the Waterfall dungeon. Apart from that, it is essentially useless. Alright, now we don't have to... And then we just got KO'd by a spider. Not the fire giant, the spider. Okay, now I didn't realize that you could actually reclaim all your items from death and then go back there. I thought you had to go to the gravestone like previously. So that's something you do have to realize. Whenever you play back to the game from a few years ago and you come back, there are the quality of life updates, this being one. So we'll just fast forward back to that point. Okay, so the next time was actually a lot easier and nothing actually decided they wanted to attack me. That's great. And so we're about to use the urns on it, and there we go. We ended up getting our 13,750 strength and attack XP, which is great because the Waterfall Quest is now over hardest quest of all time, especially for level 3. We get our 30 strength and our 30 attack, which is great because now we can finally go for these untradable drop weapons and gear and finally start the actual grind of the whole account. We're about ready to finish X marks the spot. Now the great thing about X marks the spot is it gives us a beginner clue scroll, and these beginner clue scrolls have the opportunity to give us ornament kits, which makes some of the regular equipment into the game into untradable equipment. Now I don't know if I'll be like grinding these out like overall, because I think they're kind of cheap because you're using regular equipment, just making them untradable. So just let me know in the comments below if you think this is fair, or if I should just stick with regular untradable equipment. It is all up to you guys on that. But we're about ready to finish this beginner clue, but then Charlie the Tramp wanted us to make a leather plate legs, and that requires 18 crafting, and I really don't want to do crafting right now. So instead we're going to do a better grind, which is going to help us immensely with doing these quests in the future. Using the lamp, we just got 11 agility. So we decided to grind out agility for a bit, and we're about ready to get 15 agility. Now agility is a great skill because it unlocks one of the best untradable sets of the entire account for questing, which is full graceful. Graceful clothing is where you're reducing gear that can be bought from Grace found in the Rogue's Den beneath the Toad and Chicken Inn and Birth Robe. The pieces are bought with Marks of Grace, totaling a grand total of 260 Marks of Grace. Normally this can be attained as early as 56 agility, but as they are randomly generated when crossing thing, it is not guaranteed. Now the great thing about this set is the weight reducing, with the whole set knocking down to 25 kilograms, and then you get the plus 30% run energy restoration, which makes this gear perfect, especially for this tier, as we will be questing to obtain most of our untradable items. And there goes 20 agility coming in hot. 25 agility. So we're about ready to finish the Draenor course, finishing up the last lap right now, which will put us at 99 Draenor village rooftop and bringing us up to 30 agility. Right there, there's 30 agility, which means we can go on ahead and move to the Varrock course, and that's primarily where we will be training until we can get to the Canifis course. Alright, so I'm about ready to get 40 agility. I missed 35 agility on accident, and I didn't really want to do 36 or 37, so here we go, 40 agility coming in hot. Now with reaching 40 agility, the next best course is in Canifis, and Canifis you don't really unlock until you complete the Priest and Peril quest. With my current stats right now, it'd be a little bit hard to kill some of the NPCs, so I thought I'd train them up a little bit so I have a little bit higher hit points value, so I don't get one hit, or I don't have to worry about eating everything and just getting a better source of food. So we're grinding on these cows, triggering these animal rights activists, but that's okay because all I have to say is no animals were harmed during the making of this video and everything's fine. Now the reason being why I killed these cows instead, so I could get their leather so I could tan them. Now with this we can go on ahead and get our crafting level up so we can finally finish that beginner clue. We're starting off just making the leather gloves, and then we're just going to slowly move up throughout the route, and we just had 2 crafting. Alright, so we're about ready to finish up the crafting journey, which is 18 crafting. Finishing up by doing these last leather bodies. Yeah, leather bodies. We're getting about 25 XP per body, and we just got it right there, 18 crafting. So now we can see if this beginner clue will get us any of the untradable items or any of the ornament kits to make our items untradable. Yep, that's what I expected. With our Marks of Grace, we decided to stop by Grace's Graceful Clothing store and go on ahead and get us a pair of the Graceful Gloves so that we can regenerate a little bit more, and so that whenever we do this quest, it'll be a little bit easier. Alright, and I also went and grabbed the Boots of Lightness, which is a great substitute for Graceful Clothing. The Boots of Lightness are found in the cellar of the Temple of Ikov Dungeon, reducing weight by 4.5 kilograms when warm. This is 0.5 kilograms more than the Graceful Boots, but they do not increase run energy restoration boots. Therefore, they are great for beginning level accounts that do not have access to the full Graceful set, but are still looking for some weight reducing clothing. Now we need to complete the Rune Mysteries quest, so we're about ready to finish it up. The reason being is for the Priest and Pearl quest, we need to get Rune Essence or Pure Essence, and this is the quickest way for me to do this. So we just completed the Rune Mysteries quest, so now we can go mine the rest of the Rune Essence. Oh yeah. Now here's some content that you all are here for. Hitting big rock with the pickaxe. Now for the Priest and Pearl quest, I thought I wouldn't need many cups of tea to end up slaying the Monk of Zamrock that's level 30, but apparently I was completely wrong because he kept hitting me 2s over and over again, whilst I didn't really do it. So I had to go bank and then I went back. Now we ended up restocking completely to go fight him, and then this time went so stupid compared to the first time. So I ended up getting a full inventory of cups of tea because I was expecting it to take at least like 12 or 14 since the first one took about that many. But apparently I can hit every single time this time, so it only took me 1 cup of tea, and that was being generous because I probably was fine with using 0. But I ate anyways, or I drank it anyways. So, it just shows you how RNG is a funny thing, where you could have got away with just doing 2 trips had I got lucky. Alright, and now we're about ready to finish up Priest and Peril real quick, and on the completion of this quest, we're going to unlock a great untradable item, which is called the Wolfbane Dagger. Wolfbane is a dagger given as a quest reward from the Priest and Peril. It is used to keep the citizens of Canifis from transforming into werewolves whenever you attack them. This dagger has the same bonuses as a mithril dagger, except it also gives a prayer bonus, making this my next best in slot for melee, as previously our best in slot was the training sword. And there's 41 agility, 45 agility. So we just got the mime random of it, and we just got 2 of the mime tops. These are great untradables because they don't even provide anything, but when we equip them, the best time to wear a striped sweater is all the time. Alright, so we're about ready to hit 50 agility. Just one more jump real quick, and there we go. 50 agility coming in hot. Now, we could, if we wanted to, go to the Falador course, but instead we're going to stay at the Canifis course, just because the Marks of Grace at the Canifis course is a lot more than the ones at the Falador course. We just finished 441 Canifis rooftop laps, and we're going to go ahead and buy some more graceful gear, since we have the tokens. We don't really need it. It's not really necessary to purchase right now, since we're not going to be running anywhere, but I think it's just nice to have the cosmetic scape, fashion scape of course. So we're going to buy the cape, the hood, and then the top, and then the only 2 left is going to be the legs and the boots, which will take us about 100 more marks of grace. Alright, so we're finishing up lap 661 of the course, and we just got ourselves 57 agility, and we have 60 marks of grace, so only 40 more to go. Hey look, it's that funny Reddit number. Alright, so we're at rooftop lap 743 with our 81 marks of grass, and we're about ready to get 58 agility, and there we go. Finishing up rooftop lap 806 and our last mark of grace spawn, which will put us at 100 marks of grace. Finishing up our full outfit, which is pretty much all we're going to be going for at this point. And so let's go ahead and go get ourselves that graceful outfit. Oh yeah, graceful Chad. Yeah. With our newly acquired graceful outfit, we decided to go on ahead and do some agility pyramid, getting all the way up and gathering 7 agility pyramids in total so that we can get 70k in order to use this on some more expensive training methods. With the 70k, we headed directly to Diego, and we purchased 2 items, one the cursed Goblin Staff, and 2 being the Chronicle, as long with the teleport cards. The Cursed Goblin Staff is one of 3 weapons released during Old School RuneScape's 4th event, the Goblin Invasion. It can now be purchased from Diego for 45 coins and is useful for players who want to train their magic skill through splashing, as this staff has 0 stat bonuses whatsoever, and you can auto-cast, as thus, this is a great weapon for our playstyle, as any weapon that can not make us where we can auto-cast spells is great for me in the beginning. The Chronicle is an equipable book that can be used to teleport the player just outside the Champions Guild. This book was released to commemorate RS3's new game, Chronicle: The Legends of RuneScape. It was a card-based game used to promote RS3, but it ended up dying down due to rampant microtransactions. It was okay in the very beginning. In order to use the Chronicle, you must charge it with teleport scrolls. Players can purchase a maximum of 100 per day, and the book can hold a maximum of 1,000. Each teleport scroll costs a total of 150 GP each card, therefore a Varrock teleport is equivalent to 150 GP. Alright, now we ended up going over to Aubrey's rune shop, and we spent the last 70k buying some runes so we could do some like really good mage training, as mage is one of the best skills in the account, especially in long term and in game, as we can actually get some really great mage gear. So that's pretty much going to be the end of the episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and goodbye.